So the Russia-Ukraine conflict enters its 906th day on Monday. Ukraine's air defense units repelled Russia's overnight air attack, including on Kiev. Ukraine's Air Force said that all 11 drones that Moscow launched targeting Ukraine's territory were destroyed. Meanwhile, there were no immediate reports of any damage due to the attack or falling drone debris. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky was briefed by his top commander on new details of the operation in Russia's West Kursk region. Ukrainian Air Force also claimed to have destroyed another strategic bridge over the Seym river in Russia's Kursk region. This has limited the supply capacity of a Russian group opposing the Ukrainian advance. Kiev said it had seized more than 80 settlements in Kursk since launching a surprise strike across the border on August 6th. Meanwhile, Moscow said that Ukraine has struck and damaged the third bridge in Kursk region as Kiev forces attempt to expand its incursion within the Russian territory. Russian Ministry of Emergencies today released videos showing civilians evacuated from the Kursk region amid the continued advance of Ukrainian forces into the border region. According to the ministry, the latest group of evacuees were taken to Saratov, Samara and Tambov regions. The ministry also reported that more than 10,000 local residents were staying at temporary accommodation centers in other parts of the country. Russian officials have said that nearly 200,000 people were being evacuated following the attack. DD India's Dasha Chernishova joins us live from Moscow for more on the story. Dasha, how much pressure is Kremlin under with Ukraine destroying the third bridge in Kursk?
Well, there is a lot of pressure on the Kremlin at the moment because the evacuations of those border areas in the Kursk and Belgorod region have been widespread. The Russian officials have confirmed that over the past 2 weeks, almost over 121,000 people have been evacuated only from the border, from 9 border districts of the Kursk region. There have been more evacuations taking place, and this process is ongoing. These people are being assisted by the Russian state or their relatives in other regions. They have to flee and find their places elsewhere. As the school year is about to begin on the 1st of September, there is a lot of pressure from this humanitarian side, from this humanitarian point of view, and many Russians are very concerned about how this process is going to begin for the children who have been displaced from those areas. At the same time, we keep hearing here from the Russian Ministry of Defense that they are repelling the Ukrainian attempts to move any deeper into the Russian territories, namely in the Kursk region, that they are striking the enemy forces with their weapons both on the Russian soil in the Kursk region and also across the border in Ukraine's Sumy region. And also the Russian MOD is saying that Ukraine is trying to regroup while confirming that Moscow is not pulling its resources out from the areas of the fighting in Donbass, for instance. So there is a lot going on with this Kursk incursion, and the Kremlin has to react to this developing and very fluid situation. In the meantime, we are hearing the Russian officials confirm that after the incursion in the Kursk region, it is very difficult to talk about any prospect for the negotiated settlement of the conflict in Ukraine, with the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov on Monday also confirming that it is obvious that Ukraine got the consent from the West to carry out this attack, and now it is becoming obvious that everybody in the West, the supporters of Ukraine, have never been interested in finding a negotiated settlement. But this is also given some sort of boost to the authorities at the Kremlin, who, with the population here in Russia, seeing that as part of this ongoing fight between Russia and the West. But certainly with the fluidity of this situation, there is a lot of pressure on the Kremlin, and there is the sort of expectation that time will come when Russia will definitely retaliate against this Ukrainian incursion.
Dasha Chernishova in Moscow, thank you very much for those updates.